what makes death lovely. Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me all my sad captains. Fill our holds once more. Let's mock the midnight bell.
Kalamazoo. I don't want to boast, but I know she's a toast of Kalamazoo, zoo, zoo. Yolanda in Kalamazoo once strolled after dark by the zoo. She was seized by the nape and humped by an ape, and she sighed, "What a heavenly screw!" Oh, just a minute, I forgot the baby. Gauze and wire, hopping on a flyer, leaving the day. Am I dreaming? I can hear her screaming. Is everybody happy? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I got a gal in Kalamazoo. My medicinal bag. It goes where I go. Its only objectionable feature is that people are convinced I carry around my own ashes. It actually contains vital, life-sustaining potions from my pharmacist at the Jungle Club on 7th Avenue. Years have gone by, my, how she grew. I like her looks when I carry her books in Kalamazoo, zoo, zoo. Said Yolanda, "Oh my, you're so hairy, but I hope, yes I do, that I marry a man with a schlong half as thick and as long as the kind that you zookeepers carry." Oh, God, I must be a masochist and a friggin' egotist. Here I am, 3 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the whole world at war, and I'm trying to revive my puny career, as well as rejuvenate my sex life and turn this limp noodle into a bushwhacker. I can't believe I forked out good money to rent this god-forsaken dump for one night just to run a few goddamn lines. But I have. So do not be put off by the disarray that you see. All of this will hopefully be transformed into the throne room of that lump of foul deformity, Ruthless Richard the Turd. Oh God, he was a shit, wasn't he? But then I have an affinity for shits. You know, Richard was my first real success as a classical actor. It was long ago, but it was the first time they took me seriously. So I've got to try to get the old bastard back up on his feet once more. I need to be taken seriously again before the man in the bright nightgown comes for me. That is, if my trusty prompter ever shows up. For the success of this hazard enterprise depends not only on your approval, but on the shaky ability of an aging actor to remember his lines. And if there are among you one or two charitable angels, the smallest gesture will not be unappreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hiya, Mr. Jackson. Everything's okay, A-L-A-N-A-Z. Oh, what a gal, a real pipperoo. I'll make my bid for that freckle-faced kid I'm hurrying to. I'm going to Michigan to see. Have you ever seen Deliria Tremens? A colleague of mine, a bibulous fellow thespian, had the best DTs I've ever seen. You might say Henry's bladder abhorred a vacuum. Henry Malcolm Rogers, known in theater circles as the world's best worst actor. He kicked the bucket here last week at 62, but not from liquor. No, he died of what in New York is called a natural death. He was hit by a cab. Hank drank a quart of whiskey a day for 40 years. They tried to cremate him, but he blew up and wrecked them. Dear old Henry, the only man I ever knew with varicose veins in his eyeballs. There's nothing really funny about booze. Hell, I must be a walking advertisement for all the liquor companies in the world. Look at these. Restless little buggers, aren't they? I'm so far gone, I haven't left yet. But things are beginning to click for me. My knees, my elbows, my neck. When I get out of bed, I sound like Carmen Miranda's castanets. But I don't feel old yet. They say a man isn't old until regrets take the place of dreams. That's it, isn't it? Dreams. And then our life is surrounded with blood clots, gout, arthritis, dropsy, ulcers, and oh God, yes, hemorrhoids. They're a pain in the ass. The sovereign panacea for whiskey breath. A tippler from Riverside Drive had breath you could barely survive. He ate a banana, read George Santayana, then farted Chanel number 5. Let me disabuse you people of the prevalent notion that Jack Barrymore is a tragic figure. I do not suffer easily these maudlin sob sisters who lament my fall from grace. Hell, they haven't even got the decency to wait until I die. Get this straight. I've had one hell of a life for a man who's been dead 15 years. Oh. My brother Lionel and I, one summer holiday on Staten Island, staged furious duels with these. I was 6. I was the baby. Lionel was 10. My sister Ethel, who was 9 going on 40, saw us showing off with these and got the bright idea of putting on a show in the barn behind the boarding house. All 37 guests came. Each paid a penny. I earned 6 cents. Lionel 10. Ethel kept the remaining 21 cents for herself. Star billing and production costs. Lionel was irate, threatened to quit. But I was completely happy because I hadn't learned to count yet. Jesus Christ, I must be having a DTs. What the hell is that? Oh, it's only a glove. I thought it was a dead rat. Reminds me of my father. Bastard. He used to drag me along on his nightly binges. I wasn't even 10 yet. He'd stumble home at dawn without me, forgot all about me, left me in some dingy whorehouse. The girls were always telling me how cute I was, how much I looked like my father. I didn't want to be like him, that lunatic. He was a madman, a brute, and he got worse. Once, he almost killed Ethel. He had her by the neck, and then he ran out screaming into the night. I chased him for 20 blocks. I didn't give a shit how big he was. I was going to kill the raving son of a bitch. Is that my inheritance? Scares the hell out of me. Gee, God, what was that? Who's there?
That you, sir?
'Tis I, be not afeared. Who calls?
Frank, let me know when you want to start running your lines. I am all set up and ready to go.
Well, Mr. Efficiency has finally shown up. How are you, Frank?
Fine, sir.
Good. Keeping busy?
Yes, sir.
That's our Frank. Still living in Yonkers?
Yes.
With your mother?
Yes.
How is she?
That's so-so.
What?
So-so.
Ah, well, that's life. Dear old Frank, I have but to discreetly cradle my auditory orifice, lean artfully in his direction, murmur, line, and the forgotten words waft their way towards my eagerly awaiting ear, unbeknownst to the enchanted audience.
Anytime, Mr. Barrymore.
I have very poor brains for drinking. I could well wish courtesy would invent some other form of entertainment.
Wait a minute, sir.
Hmm?
That is not from Richard.
Oh, how perceptive of you, Frank. What is it from?
Othello.
Correct as usual. Pedantic prick, save me from him. A horse, my kingdom for a horse.
Mr. Barrymore, aren't we taking it from the beginning?
Presumably.
Well, that's the end of the play.
Oh, tedious boy. All right, Frank, let's
Act
get
one.
going.
Scene 1.
All right, give me just a second here. Oh. All right, get me started.
Now?
Now is as good a time as any.
No, now is the first word.
Oh,
Now is the...
now is the what? Now is the what?
Now is the winter of...
Now is the winter of what?
Our discontent.
Now is the winter of our discontent. That's what I said, boy. Don't you listen?
I listen.
Frank, don't prompt me unless I ask for it. If I ever need one, I will simply say, line. Line.
By the son of York,
Line.
And all the clouds that
And all the clouds that lowered on our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. God, that was a killer. Let's take a break.
You've only done 4 lines.
Oh, shut up, Frank.
Come on, Mr. Barrymore. Let's get serious.
All right, Simon Legree. What's next?
Now are our brows.
Now are our brows. I can recite 2 entire plays by Shakespeare. I know you've heard that when I make pictures, I sometimes use blackboards placed in strategic positions.
Bound with victorious wreath.
Well, it's true. What the hell's wrong with that?
Bound with victorious wreath.
Shut up, Frank. It doesn't mean I'm losing my marbles, does it?
Bound with victorious
You
wreath.
see, keep after me. Keep
Come
after
on!
me. He never gives up. Tonight, all is well. Franklin is at the helm.
What are you doing? You know what the manager says.
I do not give a rat's ass what the manager said.
No drinking on the premises.
Oh, no, the drink, the drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink, the drink. Oh, I am poisoned. Maybe I should do Hamlet. No, 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 alas, too late, too old. Richard is an undertaking more conditioned to my age and condition. Middle-aged actors shouldn't play Hamlet. Although, I don't look middle-aged, do I, Frank?
Not anymore.
Oh, saucy boy. Cruelty, thy name is Franklin. Ugh. Prompters. So it's Richard Crook back on nothing, right? And if I don't do it, some other ham is going to beat me to it. Right, Frank?
Right, sir.
All right, let's get cracking. Oh, you probably hadn't noticed, but I tend to stagger. My whole family staggers. My father, God rest his soul, was a great staggerer. Staggering is a sign of strength, Jackie, he used to say. Only the weak have to be carried home. Frank, where were we?
Grim-visaged war.
Ah, grim-visaged war hath smoothed his... Ethel sent me these. Red apples have been the Barrymore good luck wish or family curse for generations. I don't know why I ever went into the theater. Lionel and I wanted to be painters, great painters of the American spirit, like Homer, Winston, Eakins, Bellows. Ethel wanted to be a pianist. You may not know this, Frank, but I was, for a time, political cartoonist for the Evening Journal.
Really, sir?
Oh, yes. Some of my happiest hours were spent at Minnie Hayes' boarding house on 34th Street, a hangout for the tough newspaper crowd. Magnificent wastrels. Say, Jacko, how come you always draw Teddy Roosevelt standing in the tall grass? Oh, well, because, my dear fellow, I never learned how to draw feet. I also had one other fatal flaw that got me fired. All my drawings looked like me. The bad boy side I loved, so it was back to the stage. Good old Ethel came to the rescue, got me a job. But acting isn't an art. It's a scavenger profession, a junk pile of all the arts. It's just that we 3 were trapped in the family cul-de-sac. The Barrymores and the Drews and the Barrymores. They wrote plays about us. We were the theater's royal family, and I was the clown prince. Somewhere along the way, the public got tired of us. I can't say that I blame them. But it's paid well, that's the narcotic. Frank?
Yes, sir?
Do you suppose that my fans will remember me when I'm a has-been?
Oh, of course they do, Mr. Barrymore.
I don't know what I'd do without him, but I'd rather. Incidentally, Frank, why haven't you been drafted?
Well, the Army didn't want me.
No, why not?
I'm 4F.
Ah, flat feet?
No.
Weak eyes?
No. Homosexual.
You don't say. Well, W.C. Fields and I were turned down for home defense. Do you know what that impudent young woman behind the registration desk said? Who sent you? The enemy? W.C. replied, well, correct me if I'm wrong, my little hermaphrodite, but is that your trust that's chafing you, or is your tutu too tight? Homosexual, huh? Did you have to tell them?
I didn't.
Well, how did they know?
I think they guessed.
Well, come to think of it, Frank, as W.C. would say, there's a bit of a tomboy about you, Frank. God, you're a good man for owning up to that. I must say, you've got guts. I'm proud of you. You're honest, outspoken, incredibly frank. Frank. Here, the quaint irony of it is, I've sometimes wished that I was born on your side of the fence. It's when I thought women caused all my troubles and all dames were poison. Odd that, since I adore women more than do most men. Even though all 4 wives were bus accidents. There's Catherine, Dolores, Blanche.
Didn't Blanche come before Dolores?
You're right. Catherine, Blanche, Dolores, and then Eileen.
Elaine.
You're right. It's funny how all of them aspired to be actresses. Can you countenance that? But I think they loved me. I loved them. Yes, I did. God knows. But something tells me there won't be a 5th ex-Mrs. Barrymore. I would rather set fire to myself. I that am not shaped for sportive tricks. Frank?
Yes?
I that am not shaped for sportive tricks.
Nor made to court.
I that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass. I that am rudely stamped, lying,
And want love's majesty.
and want love's majesty,
To strut.
to strut,
Before a wanton.
wanton,
Ambling. Nymph.
what?
Nymph!
Nymph! Oh, Catherine, my first. Blue mirrors for eyes, a taffy-haired debutante, every vowel a diphthong. Oh, you've spilled lemonade all over my best white piqué hat. Foolish girl. For 20 years, Catherine and I were ecstatically happy. Then we met. Who came after her? Don't tell me. Tell me.
Blanche.
Blanche, that's right.
Known as Michael.
Michael, that's right. She was Blanche when I met her, but wouldn't you know, she changed into Michael, a regular Joe. She had the face of a Romney portrait and the soul of a Marine. And she wrote free verse. Oh, noble Hercules, press me in your pungent arms. And I did. She kindled fire in me. I kindled fire in her. We wore matching outfits. She looked like George Sand. I looked like George Sand. It was then that Miss Sappho of 1920 hove into view like an oil tanker. Mercedes de Acosta. Mercedes doted on Blanche. Mercedes was more butch than Spartacus. And who can forget her handshake? Ah, buenos dias, senor. Que hombre. Ay, ay, ay. And your wife, Miguel. Que mujer. Ay, 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 ay. Put her there, senor. Ay, 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 ay. God, I know that divorces cost more than marriages do, but God damn it, they're worth it. Can't believe the shit I put myself through all those years. I'm not just talking about the marriages. All those plays, those absurd flops, one goddamn cow pie after another one. And then Ned appeared. My Warwick, my Kingmaker, my Voltaire. Ned Sheldon, age 25, a playwright, just out of Harvard with a hit on Broadway. He sees me perform in some vapid little piece of fluff. Jack Barrymore, when are you going to stop wasting your talent? Talent? What talent? I'm in the family business, that's all, like dry goods or hardware. No, no, no. You don't know what you're capable of. You should be doing the classics. The classics? Tights? Prancing around the stage in some panty-waist get-up? No, thank you. Oh, come on, Jack. What are you such a coward about? Why are you so afraid? You know you've got it all. The looks, the heart, the ego, and the talent. Oh, I admit it's a little raw. You're going to have to work your ass off. But if you do, you could be what the theater's been searching for. You could be the next Edwin Booth. Come on, you flap-eared son of a bitch. Let me get that Plantagenet nose of yours against some worthwhile grindstone. Are you game? Sure, I'm game. Ned is as good as his word. He even writes plays for me. He plots my career like a Roman general. Ned's the one who got me started on Shakespeare. We were at the Bronx Zoo, mesmerized by a red tarantula with a gray bald spot on the back of his head from trying to get out of his cage. God, what a sinister-looking thing. Crawling power, I said to Nettie. Yeah, that reminds me of Richard III, which you were going to play, he said. God bless you, Ned. You made me reach for it. You even got me a pet tarantula. I called it Mercedes.
Mr. Barrymore.
Hold your horses, Frank, hold your horses. One summer, Ned and I rendezvoused in Venice. We wandered late at night in ancient streets and deserted squares. We traveled the Grand Canal. We talked about everything under the sun. Well, he talked, I listened. Then it was on to Florence. And our last night there, in the cupola on the roof of our hotel, we waited for the sun to rise. And as the dawn broke, there it was in all its glory. The River Arno, the Uffizi Gallery, the church of Santa Croce and the Franciscans where Galileo and Michelangelo are buried. And there we were, at 4 a.m, singing to all of Florence, when the midnight choo-choo leaves for Alabama, I'll be right there. I got my fare. When I see that rusty-haired conductor man, I'll grab him by the collar and I'll holler, Alabama, Alabama, Alabama. Nettie, come on, get up and dance, you old bastard. I'm going to sit this one out. I think he knew more about art and history than even old Ruskin himself. God bless you, Ned. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. That was one hell of a summer. Last summer, they put me in a sanitarium. I don't remember where the hell it was, somewhere way out in the desert, filled with rich old boozers there for the express purpose of drying out. A formidable creature named Frau Himmler was in charge. Ah, Frau Himmler, how enchanting you look. And how is Herr Himmler? Dead, kaput, gone to Valhalla. Well, in that case, my Germanic geranium, how about joining me in a nightcap? Herr Barrymore, this is a clinic. We have house rules. There will be no smoking, no profanity, and no smuggling in the schnapps by your Hollywood riffraff crowd. Well, in that case, my Teutonic tease, how about a little romp between the sheets? Schweinhund, Henke Penke ist verboten. There will be no discussion of S-E-X. What was, was. Well, have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag. Up your Wiener Schnitzel, you old sauerkraut. Ned gave me this. It's the real thing. 16th century. I love old things. Old times, old friends, old manners, old talks, old books, old trees, the old sun, the old moon, the old earth's face, old wine and dim flagons, old ships, old wagons. Where was I?
In the sanitarium.
Right. One evening, when the Wagnerian vixen had her back turned, I managed to escape and join a lady of the evening, a blushing flower who will remain nameless, Trixie Shoemaker. Trixie's pushing 40 from the wrong side, but she sparkles like a dental filling. After a lively little game of jumbled giblets performed in the back seat of a taxi, we were quietly wassailing in the cozy intimacy of a hotel dining room when who should storm in but my old journalist friend, Jean Fowler. Jean immediately began to berate, insult, and badmouth my poor soiled little dove. I had no option but to get up there and in defense of Trixie's honor. Now, just a minute, Jean. I will not allow you to use such language in the presence of a whore. You're damn right, said Trixie, and smacked him. She immediately regretted that. He was chewing tobacco. Oh, I gotta tell you this. Jean has a mother-in-law. I gotta tell you this. Jean has a mother-in-law from hell. I don't understand grown men getting drunk and making fools of themselves in front of decent people. Don't you bring that broken-down John Barrymore here anymore. Well, the truth is, He did bring me home before sunrise one night to have drinks. Shh, don't wake Mumsy. As if I wanted to. While Jean was tiptoeing into the kitchen to make drinks, I made the acquaintance of Mumsy's beloved parrot, Chester. Well, say something, Chester. Don't just sit there, you stupid technicolored chicken. It turned out the bird spoke nothing but French. Bonjour, madame. Bonjour, madame. Bonjour, madame. In no time, I had coached Chester in the king's English, downed my drink, and departed. I found out later that when Mumsy passed the purge and sang out, Bonjour, Chester, the bird replied, Bonjour, madam, fuck you, boy. Little drops of water, little blades of grass. Once a noble actor, now a horse's ass. Oh. Good evening from Hollywood. This is Luella Parsons with the scoop on that bad boy John Barrymore. It seems his latest indiscretion took place last night at the fashionable Chasen's restaurant, where he relieved himself in a potted palm next to a table of delegates from the Daughters of the American Revolution. I don't remember the incident. I don't remember a lot of things. Merciful amnesia, fat-ass old gossip. Jack Barrymore, would you kindly remember that I am a lady? Well, your secret is safe with me, madam. What a quaint old udder she is. I never liked Luella, and I always will. I that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass. I that am...
You've already done that, sir.
I know I have, but I like it. I that am rudely stamped, and what line?
And want love's majesty.
And want love's majesty. Line?
To strut before
to strut before a wanton ambling nymph. I that am, line?
Curtailed.
Curtailed of this fair proportion. Cheated of, line?
Feature.
Cheated of feature. Line?
By dissembling nature.
By dissembling nature.
Deformed.
Deformed.
Unfinished.
Don't tell me. Tell me.
Sent before my time.
Sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. I wonder if I should still use these tights. They originally belonged to Ethel, and Lionel stole them for his Macbeth tights, and then I had them for my Richard tights, and then my Hamlet tights. My dresser asked if they mightn't be laundered just once. Laundered, you insolent lout! Have you no sense of tradition? I opened in these tights, and by God, I'll close in them! Oh. Oh. When I die, I shall bequeath them to the Cathedral of San Giovanni Battista to rest next to the Shroud of Turin. A king am I, of shreds and patches. It's funny, the things I remember about my London opening of Hamlet. There I was, a callow youth of 43. I remember standing in the wings holding the theater cat in my arms. I called her my little Ophelia. Suddenly, I hear my cue. It's too late. I have to take her on with me. Get thee to a nunnery, or if thou wilt needs marry, then marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what monsters you make of them. To a nunnery, go, and quickly too. Farewell. And afterwards, everyone was gone. Frank, dim the lights.
What for?
I want to feel the chill again. I waited for everyone to leave. And then I walked out onto the Haymarket stage, all alone, except for the ghosts. To be or not to be, that is the question. Well, it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortunes, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die is to sleep no more. And by asleep we mean to end the heartache and thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. You know, there's one moment in your life when all the stars seem to gather together as one, and you know that that moment belongs to you. It was there on that London stage that I realized it all could be mine if I wanted it. But the moment wouldn't last. It passed me by. Jesus, what the hell did you do that for, Frank? You scared the shit out of me.
We're wasting time.
Says who?
Says me, sir. We've only got the place for one night.
Well, stop bullying me. I want to tell them my story.
What story?
The Dowager story.
Oh, God, that one. Well, make it fast.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Frank. Please do forgive me. I'll be with you in just a minute. During the run, a dowager accosted me. I do beg your pardon, Mr. Barrymore, but in your opinion, did Hamlet have sexual relations with Ophelia? In my opinion, no, madam. Although I did hear in one Chicago company that Hamlet had fellatio with Horatio. On opening night, however, George Bernard Shaw came to see this American upstart fall flat on his face. He very kindly delivered his opinion of me by letter instead of to the press. I call it the Shavian uppercut. I keep it here, next to my heart. Hi, handsome. I'm here for fun after the show. No, that's not the one. My dear Mr. Barrymore, thank you for inviting me to your first London performance of Hamlet. You saved an hour and a half by the cutting and filled it up with an interpolated drama of your own dumb show. I wish you would concentrate on acting rather than authorship, at which, believe me, the bard can write your head off. Yours perhaps too candidly, GBS. No, damn it, I was a hit! Haymaker at the Haymarket. That's what the London critics wrote. Listen, you fat-headed Fabian. In those halcyon days, I had ideals. I reveled in being compared to men like Kean, Mansfield, Booth. One of my greatest regrets will always be that I was never able to sit out in an audience and watch me perform. That doesn't sound conceited, does it? Does it, Frank?
No.
No, of course it doesn't. I held on to those ideals. You have to if you're going to be up there. If I couldn't be a painter, at least I could master the family business. Papa's business. Ah, Papa. Maurice Barrymore, christened Herbert Arthur Chamberlain Hunter Blythe, complete with Oxford accent, silk topper, and a monocle. Regardless of what I thought of him, I tried so hard to emulate his voice. But I had an unfortunate furry rasp in mine. Jackie's a disgrace to the family, he would say. He sounds like he's been sleeping with those barkers on Coney Island. That's Papa. I don't remember very much about my mother. She died when I was so young. A fine comedienne, Papa would say. But her mother, Grandma Drew, well, that's a different story. She called me her little green goose, like the pretty little lad in the storybook. We called her Mum Mum. She sent me to kindergarten at the convent school, and one day I threw an egg at another little boy, and Mum Mum rebuked me. She said, now listen here, green goose. One day you may be an actor like your daddy, and the egg will be thrown back at you. I think Mum Mum was a great actress. She was also the first woman to head a major American theater, the Arch Street Theater in Philadelphia. Before she died, she said, "You three children are my pride and joy. Ethel will be the luminous one. She has starlight on her head. And Lionel will be the solid, stable, practical one. But you, Green Goose, you will dream too long and too deep, and one day be gravely hurt by your awakening." We lived in her 12th Street house, which we called the Tomb of the Capulets. A Victorian monstrosity with cavernous hallways and monastic rooms and 2 attics where Lionel and I slept. Up the darkened staircase I'd go, scared to death of the gloom ahead. "I don't want to go up there, Mom, it's too dark." Now listen to me, Green Goose. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Nothing's going to hurt you. You have a wonderful power. Say that after me. Nothing's going to hurt me. I have a wonderful power. Say it again and again. You can't hurt me. I have a wonderful power. You can't hurt me. I have a wonderful power. Good night, Mum. I'm coming up, Lionel. Be careful up there. Don't break another window. They'll blame me. God, it's so dark. Let's find a secret passage, eh? Where the hell am I? Who's that over in the wings staring at me? Who is it? Somebody tell me who that is.
It's just me, Frank.
Oh, Frank. I guess I took a little detour there. It's funny, for a minute I just couldn't place who it was. He looked so familiar. Frank, were you on a break?
No, sir.
Who said you could take a break?
But I didn't take
Well,
them.
where were you? Where are they when you need them? If you do fight against your country's line, if you do fight in service of your line,
Your wives?
your wives shall what? What's the line? Your wives shall what?
Your wives shall welcome, but that's not Richard's line, sir.
Whose is it?
Richmond's.
I'll take it.
Your wives shall welcome home the conquerors.
Oh, my wives wouldn't welcome me home if I came bearing the Holy Friggin' Grail. Each marriage lasted 7 years. Like a skin rash. My troubles don't come from chasing women. They come from catching them. The trouble is, everyone wants to put halos over my unworthy head and hold them up with broomsticks. And pretty soon they get tired of holding up the broomsticks and Ned Sheldon, I don't need a goddamn halo. He doesn't need a broomstick. What the hell are you, Neddy? What prank of irony made you my friend? What made you stoop to serve this wretch, this buffoon, this counterfeit of a man? He's always trying to save me, and I never listen. So now, like Richard, I'm lost, seeking a way and straying from the way, not knowing how to find the open air, but toiling desperately to find it out. And from this torment I will free myself or hew my way out with a bloody axe. Why, I can smile and murder whilst I smile, and cry content to that which grieves my heart, and wet my cheeks with artificial tears, and frame my face to all occasions. Why, I'll drown more sailors than the mermaid will, play the orator as well as Nestor, deceive more slyly than Ulysses could, and like a Sinon, take another Troy. I can add colors to the chameleon, change shapes with Proteus for advantages, and set the murderous Machiavel to school. Can I do all this and cannot get a crown? Tut! Were it further off, I'll pluck it down! Where's the nearest toilet, Frank?
Just off stage right, sir.
Thank you.
Down one flight,
Yes?
turn left at the fire extinguisher.
But nowhere closer? An open window, a cuspidor, a jardiniere, a potted palm, perhaps, preferably next to a DAR delegation. You will forgive me for a brief interval, will you not? This is, after all, an emergency. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I may see my shadow as I piss.
Pass.
Pass. Wink and blink and a nod one night. Frank, I'm paying you to prompt me.
Oh, you're paying me?
Oh, don't get cute, Frank.
I don't care about the money.
What?
I just want you to do Richard.
Well, how can I do it if you don't prompt me?
I have been prompting you.
Well, then I can't hear you.
What?
You're on the wrong side.
Wrong side.
I don't like you over there. You should be over there. You should be on stage right. No wonder I can't remember the line. It's all your fault, you stupid boy. Hie thee to stage right forthwith, or by my troth, I will knock your leek about your pate.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, impudent jackanapes. The great profile is not on this side, but this one. Say, who came up with the notion, big nose, big dick? Queen Johanna of Naples, Jumbo Johanna, a lady of unbridled lust, sized up a man's nose, and if she liked what she saw, brazenly groped him and whispered in his ear, Nasatorum peculio, which is Latin for big nose, big hose. Are you ready, Frank?
Ready when you are, sir.
All right, let's get started.
Richard's in his tent.
Right.
It's the night before the battle.
What battle?
Botsworth Field.
Right, right, yes. Is this all the light we're going to get?
Yes.
Well, all right. Is the sound ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Well, give me some wind, Frank. Oh, not a typhoon! Bring it down, bring it down! All right, what are we doing?
You're supposed to be asleep, sir.
Oh, good. Frank?
You didn't say a line.
I'm asleep! Get me started.
All right. The ghosts appear.
Right?
The ghosts vanish.
Right?
Richard wins.
Get me a horse! Get me a horse! Bind up my wounds! Let's get out of here! No, that's not right. That's a cut. Cut! Cut! What lens is that? Is that a 75? Huh? Don't forget the filter. Is that my close-up? All right. Quiet now on the set. Quiet! Quiet! Action! Give me another horse! Give me another horse! God, how many horses does this guy need? A line! A line! My kingdom for a line! I can't see the goddamn blackboards from here! Oh, I'm gonna get this right! My career is gonna be on the floor like John Gilbert's! John Gilbert, oh, that poor here he was, top of the heap. Hollywood's #1 swashbuckler, romantic rogue, leading man, great star of the silent screen. And then he made his first talking picture, and everyone discovered that he talked like this. So he came to me, bewildered. He cried on my shoulder, Jack, Jack, what happened to my career? They've turned on me. Why? Why? Well, have you listened to yourself, you white-livered renegade? Are you deaf? Oh, poor Johnny. Finita la commedia. Right, right. Action. Slowly I turn towards thee, thou all-conquering yet unrelenting whale. Oh, no, who is that? Ahab? Jekyll? Hyde? I think of nothing. I see nothing. I dream of nothing. I hear nothing but Svengali. 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 Svengali! My ghosts.
Are you lost, Mr. Barrymore?
Am I lost? Do they sell flowers on Mother's Day? Of course I'm lost!
Wherefore?
Because I don't know the word, damn it!
Wherefore is the cue, sir?
Oh, wherefore is the cube? Well, I've only needed 106 prompts so far. Where did you get this goddamn thing?
RKO.
RKO. Well, it's too tight. Or my head's too big. My temples are throbbing like hell. Perhaps it's tomorrow morning's hangover making a premature appearance. Oh, Frank. I had the most frightening thought while sitting on the can.
What was that?
If I don't pay my alimony next month, can my wives repossess me? Well, can they?
I doubt it, sir.
Oh, I sincerely hope you're right, Frank. I sincerely do. I think it is the most exorbitant of stud fees. And the worst feature of it is you pay retroactively. I spent my entire time trying to dodge the hyenas at my ankles with writs and summonses, trying to chew the last bit of flesh off my battered bones. Frankly, Frank, I've been pauperized. Fortunately, I have enough money to last the rest of my life. If I drop dead right now. Oh, my beautiful Dolores, dance with me, baby. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child. When you were only starting to go to kindergarten, I bet you drove the other boys wild. I could have written this. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the others how. I could see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. I bet you made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby. 'Cause baby, look at you now. Have you noticed that Wagner had the decency to write his wedding march in the tempo of a dirge? But the truth is, I could fall in love again like that. The one thing in this world that still excites me is a woman. How divine a thing. How I miss them. Especially wife number 3, beautiful Dolores. My one truly happy marriage. Oh, she made such a success out of it, I had to get out. So we'll go no more a-roving, so late into the night, though the heart be still as loving, and the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears the sheath, and the soul wears out the breast, and the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. When my 4th wife left me, she said, "Jack, you don't have the qualities I want in a man." I said to her, "Eileen, darling, if I had the qualities you wanted in a man, I'd have married somebody else." It's funny how our honeymoon seems like it was just yesterday. And you know what a lousy day yesterday was. But between you and me and the lamppost, I wasn't good enough for any of my wives. But I didn't tell them. I let it come as a surprise. Frank, are you sure you don't have something to drink? I could use
What was that?
a little tonsillar lubrication, Frank.
What?
Something to wet my whistle.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, good.
I've got just the thing.
Oh, right. A little drinky poo.
A nice glass of milk.
I had a glass of milk once. It was 10 years ago, and when it reached my stomach, it turned into a suede glove.
Maybe we should get on with this,
Oh,
sir.
maybe we should, Frank. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. Oh, God, what's the line? Oh, I shall despair.
That's right.
What?
I shall despair. That's the line.
I shall despair? That's the line?
Yes. So say it.
What?
Stop stalling and say the line. I know you can do this. We're wasting time.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? All I've been doing since I got here is waiting.
All you've been doing is whining.
Just say the line. Cut the bullshit.
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
You, you miserable old ham!
Oh, screw you, you nasty little faggot. I was a good Richard.
No! You weren't!
What?
You were a great Richard.
Yeah?
And you were a great Hamlet.
Yeah? Well, what happened to me? I have of late, though, wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercises. Indeed, it goes so difficultly with me that my perception of the earth is a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, dotted with golden fire, while it seems nothing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? No, man delights not me, no, nor woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
I wasn't smiling, sir.
I know that, Frank.
Shall we get back to Richard?
I've got to get back to something. I have to get to be something, whatever the goddamn role. I have to convince myself that the lines I say are mine because I say them. How else am I going to gaze off into the wings looking at stagehands in dirty undershirts and piles of dust, clutter, and junk, and then say fervently, "Oh, Cynthia, come to the window and observe the crescent moon rising over the sea." Oh, and then there's the audience. There's the rub. Whether it's Broadway or Barnum and Bailey, it's the same goddamn hulking monster sitting out there in the dark, teasing, withholding, with 2,000 eyes and 20,000 teeth, just waiting and breathing, waiting to make or break men like me. Oh, that darkness, that darkness! Oh, well, I can see this is going to be a vintage Richard. Perhaps I should have snuck up on the mirror. For a minute, I thought it was my father. You know, when I do pictures, I try to get Bill Daniels. He's the best cameraman I know. He gets rid of these oxen dewlaps. Garbo won't do a picture without him. When we made Grand Hotel at MGM, Bill got rid of these sweetbreads under my eyes and this moose's lavalier. Vanity. Of course, Lionel isn't vain. He doesn't give a shit how he looks on camera. I made 5 pictures with my brother. He's always nagging at the director. Now look here. Jack is going to be doing all kinds of treacherous things behind my back to try to steal the scene, rolling his eyeballs and showing his goddamn profile. Who's he kidding? Lionel's the master upstager. The last picture we did together was Night Flight. The big scene was all mine. There was no way he could steal it. The director bet me 10 smackers he couldn't do it this time. The camera starts grinding away. I have all the dialogue. Lionel turns his back to the camera, walks to the door to make his exit, and just as he gets to the door, he reaches around and scratches his ass. Now there's a brother to be proud of, huh? Poor Lionel. He's broken his hip twice. He's now confined to a wheelchair. What am I saying? Poor Lionel. It's the greatest gimmick an actor ever had, and he agrees with me. Now, Jack, nothing could have been better contrived for me than the character of the grouchy but lovable old grandfather in a wheelchair. As a result, I'm now a first-class hypochondriac, and I'm enjoying myself immensely. He's always been a hypochondriac. He feels bad when he feels good because he knows he'll feel worse when he feels better. God bless my brother. Back in 23, he told me that he was getting engaged to be married again for the 2nd time. Oh, no. Not Irene, I said. Oh, Jesus, how awkward. Well, what's awkward about that, you impudent jackass? Well, I happen to have been to bed with her myself. He didn't talk to me for 10 years. Oh, well, we made up at last. He's always nagging at me. Now, Jack, why do you have to do the theater? The movies are always so much easier. When the picture's done, your performance is in the can. Yeah, or in the toilet. Of course, Ethel's disapproves too, but then that's Ethel. Oh, Jack, you've sold out to Hollywood. Come back to your home in the theater. Come back. Oh, Ethel, go fuck a duck. You too, Lionel. God, it's all the same thing. Hollywood versus Broadway, Broadway versus Hollywood. It's Sodom with subways or Gomorrah with palm trees. Movies!
What were you last in, Mr. Barrymore?
I believe it was Joan Crawford. Oh, you mean a movie? I can't remember, thank God. Probably something for RKO. I'm sure my blackboards were strewn all over the set. God damn it, Jackie, said the director. Why can't you learn your lines like everybody else? Well, because, Anatole, my precious, my mind is filled with beauty. Paradise Lost, the Queen Mab speech, the great sonnets. Do you expect me to clutter up my mind with donkey doo-doo? These kidney-faced baboons who employ me are some of the most uncultured and unsophisticated asses in the world. I said to Sam Goldwyn, are you sure you want to make that picture? You know, it's about two lesbians. So, we'll make them Americans.
Come on, Mr. Barrymore.
Oh, what's the matter, Frank?
We're wasting time.
Well, what do you care? You're getting paid for it.
Okay, that's it.
Frank,
I've had it.
where are you going?
I'm getting my coat. I quit.
Frank?
You are a spoiled child. You've always gotten everything you wanted. Well, now you can't have it. You're not going to do Richard. You haven't got the guts. You're worse than a drunk. You're a coward.
Frank? Don't go! Don't go! Help me! Help me! If I don't get this right, they're going to put me away! Come on, Frank, come back! I'll try harder. You'll see, I'll try. I have a wonderful power! All you host of heaven, whole earth, shall I couple hell? Hold my heart, and you, my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Aye, thou poor ghost, remember thee? Why, as long as their memory holds in this, as long as memory holds. No. It's no good. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore, Mum. I can't do it. What's the line? Frank! Are you still here? Frank!
Still here.
Did I ever tell you that my father wrote his own epitaph?
No.
Well, he did. He walked beneath the stars and slept beneath the sun. He lived a life of going to do and died with nothing done. I had to commit him to Bellevue. He was only 51. A lethal combination of absinthe and syphilis. At his burial, the straps got twisted around his coffin. They had to hoist the whole goddamn thing back up again. How like Papa? A curtain call. Frank, are you sure you don't have something to drink? I'm starting to shake again.
Would you like some black coffee?
No! Damn it.
May I ask you something?
Of course, Frank, go right ahead.
Well, why don't you try AA?
Oh, hell, why not? I'll drink anything. Oh, you don't fool me. You're boozers, all of you, I can tell. Your faces are all blurred.
Sir, are you all right?
No. I am not all right, thank you very much. I am waylaid by regret. I can't go back to the room in the sky, to school, to anywhere. I've pissed it all away. I got nowhere to go and I can't stop running. I fled him down the nights and down the days. I fled him down the arches of the years. I fled him in the labyrinthine ways of my own mind. And in the midst of tears, I hid from him. And under running laughter from those strong feet that followed after. Well, Richard, Hamlet, all my pals, I'm free of you now. She called to me from the foot of the stairs. I saw you into this world, Green Goose, and now you're seeing me out. That's a fair exchange. Oh, but it's true. Actors are like waves of the sea. They rise to separate heights, then crash on the shore and are gone. Unremembered. Nothing as dead as a dead actor. Nothing. Not even a doornail. You can douse some lights now, Frank.
What did you say?
You heard me.
You can't quit now.
On!
No, I won't let you.
On!
No!
Our long day's task is done, and we must sleep. Bruise it to pieces. Go. My treasure's in the harbor. Take it. I pray you, leave me a little. Pray you now. Nay, do so, for indeed I have lost command. And if you want to avoid domestic strife, don't marry in January. It goes for the other months, too.
But sir, you haven't come to the end.
Oh, yes, I have. I won't fool myself anymore. What was. And you don't fool me either, you know.
What?
I know who you are. He sent you, didn't he? The man in the bright nightgown. You've come for me, haven't you? Well, I'll not go without a fight. I have a wonderful power. Ever a fighter? Let's have one fight more. The best and the last. I would hate that death bandaged my eyes and forbore and made me creep past.
Mr. Barrymore, don't you want your apples?
No. No more red apples for me. As for me tomorrow, you'll find me a grave man. Jesus, if Eve had only offered Adam a daiquiri, we'd all still be in paradise. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful guy.
Everything's okay. A-M-A-M-A-C-O-O.